We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
For the greater good.
This is episode, 196. And tonight, we are talking about The Road. The movie, not the infamous band from North Carolina. I am Sean.
Wait, there's a band from North Carolina called The Road?
There was. Starred our good friend Andrew Lejeune and friend of the show Steve Everett. It was their.
Okay.
It was the band that they were in high school and college, and I was their sound guy.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was their sound guy.
How'd that go?
They were actually
touring.
Do what? Are they still touring?
Still touring?
No, they are not still touring. No, that band broke up. Yeah, many years ago, and even sadder, one of the members died. So.
Oh, whoa! That's not
something
to laugh about.
No, and he was
horrible.
Well, that's how I met.
That?
That's how I met my wife, Sarah. Was because
really?
Yeah.
That's the shortest TV show I've ever heard.
Yeah, how I met my wife was with a band. It's actually a longer story than that, but I don't think I could turn it into 8 seasons. But I mean, I guess if I told every,
or how about 6 decent, a 7th struggling, and an 8th really bad?
Oh well. No, it would be like 1, right? I mean, I could think maybe I could turn it to 1 sitcom because I got 2 years of college of stories I could tell before I met her because it was my junior year. So because no one cares about high school because you're a minor. It's nothing fun happened then. Anyway, it's all irrelevant. What is relevant is the movie The Road. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew Vigo Butt Jimison.
Vigo butt.
Did I stump you?
There was some dangles in the distance there too.
I saw more Vigo.
That was a little scary.
I saw more of his ass. Never thought I would, but
yeah. Didn't really feel comfortable watching the ball bag dangle either.
Apparently, this is not an unusual thing for him. I think in the movie called A History of Violence, he has a fight scene where he's naked, so he is comfortable in his skin. Yeah,
I do know. That's like was it Borat had a naked fight scene too.
Yeah, that's gross. And Sam, once again, Aragon is on a long walking road trip vector.
Yeah, with no end in sight apparently.
Yeah,
kind of with a little hobbit he's taking care of.
Yeah, I mean it kind of is Lord of the Rings kind of thing. The only difference is he had a pistol instead of a sword.
Yeah. And Sean, just so you know, I do target practice with flare guns.
Yeah.
So that one day I may too shoot you down with a flare gun.
That scene happened, and I immediately was like, "Do I have that scene? Do I have that on my phone?" And I don't think I do. Oh wait,
Rudy! I shot a guy with a flare gun.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. And the crazy part is he hit that guy square in the chest and killed him.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So
it didn't seem like it would kill people. I didn't know flare guns could embed themselves in people's bodies.
I didn't either. I didn't know they were that powerful of a thing. I figured like it would hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would bounce off, wouldn't it? Like a fire.
I figured what because you hear her screaming, right? So I figured that he'd set fire to like her only stores of food.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then I go up there, there's a dead man. I was like, oh shit, that kind of escalated a little bit,
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, he did shoot arrows at him.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
No offense, I didn't feel bad at all about that death.
Oh no, I didn't feel bad about it. I just was surprised by it. I guess, really.
Yeah.
So if you guys have no idea what we're talking about, 2009's The Road. Andrew is here to enlighten you on what is The Road.
A movie that's not very light.
Yeah.
In a dangerous post-apocalyptic world, an ailing father defends his son as they slowly travel to the sea. Somewhere beyond the sea.
Nice.
Yeah.
Somewhere, take it from me.
So this movie, I'm not sure how it ended up on our list, honestly.
I put it there because I read the book because the book is absolutely freaking amazing.
Yeah?
Yes.
So you knew it was a depressing thing.
I there was a point at which I put down the book.
Yeah?
And was depressed. Yes.
Wow. Did you finish the book?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Unlike some people, I go back to things.
Hey, I have zero qualms. I have no regret or anything about me physically throwing away that Game of Thrones book. Got no problems with it at all. Now, well, you have to give me some credit that when I threw it away, I did dig it out of the trash and finished it at your bequest, or request, I should say, not bequest. That would mean you died. At your request. And I finished that book, and then I got about a chapter and a half into the next one, and then threw that one away. So, and I'm not going to finish it ever, and I don't care. I'm fine with it.
I'm sorry, dude.
You don't have to apologize. You don't have to,
I feel so bad for you. I really do.
You shouldn't. I feel great. I sleep better, and I have more energy than I ever have before. No, wait, that's a diet thing. So this movie, shit, it was it's an hour and 45 minutes of gray, on dirt, on cold, on rain.
But wait, there are very colorful moments of a suicidal wife.
And a rainbow. There's a rainbow moment. So Charlize Theron is in it.
Problem with actually.
Do what?
I said I had a problem with the rainbow moment actually.
Oh yeah,
Because you'd actually have to have like direct sunlight in order to create a rainbow, right?
Right, and there was no direct sunlight. So anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say this movie stars Viggo Mortensen, and Charlize Theron. So she is woman, right? And Viggo is man, right? They don't have names. Cody Smith McPhee is boy. He's a son. Robert Duvall is in it, which is funny because in the IMDb cast, he's credited as old man, but he has a name as Eli.
really?
Yeah, he's the only person in the movie that has a name.
That's right. Yeah, they did call.
Yeah.
In the book, he's just old man.
Yeah, in the movie.
The book, there are no names either in the book. You never know the name of people.
Interesting. So Robert Duvall's character is Eli, which I kind of expected to see him again, but he didn't show up back up, which is fine.
Oh, he's probably dead.
Guy Pearce is veteran, and Molly Parker is motherly woman.
Yeah, I didn't find her very motherly.
She kind of weirded me out, but whatever. Everyone in this movie weirded me out. I'm trying to think, what do I know her from?
The sequel in my head went a different way than I'm sure that they intended it to go.
Oh my gosh, they're making a Lost in Space show. I think I knew that. But she is Maureen Robinson. She's the mom.
Maureen.
Yeah. Well, good for her.
Wow.
So this movie, it's a post-apocalyptic. So something happens. We don't know what. It's never mentioned in the movie or the book. And something happens to the world, some kind of Earth event. And so this is, years later, and Viggo and his son are basically just trying to, survive.
Staying alive.
And they go through all kinds of weird little... It's like a video game, right? Like they go a little bit, they camp, they wake up, then they have a trial, like whatever the issue is. And then they either overcome or escape. And then they go a little bit, and then they find a new task. And then when they started getting low on HP, they found a cache of food and replenished for a little bit. So, this movie was rough. So I guess I'll let everybody do their intro with this, as we are often to do. Had we all? This is the first time for all of us, right, on this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Again, but you had read the book, but What would prompt you to read this book? I'm just curious. Did someone say, "Hey, Sam, you should read this book. It's depressing as hell"?
Cormac McCarthy, or what is it? Cormac.
I don't know.
It won a Pulitzer. I mean, it won some sort of major award, if I remember, whatever the major book award
Cormac
is.
McCarthy. Yeah, Pulitzer. I don't know.
And you know me and whatchamacallit, and post-apocalyptic stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to try that out. It's going to be awesome.
Cormac McCarthy.
Read the book.
Southern Gothic Western, post-apocalyptic. He did something called Blood Meridian.
Yep. He did No Country for Old Men.
Oh, okay. So these are old books.
Pretty Horses.
All the Pretty Horses, Blood Meridian, and Sultry. Sutri. And then, of course, The Road. Those were his 5 novels. He's been married 3 times. But that's a typical writer. His first wife lasted 1 year. 61 to 62. And then his next wife lasted a little bit longer, 67 to 81. And then his most recent wife, 97 to 06. Interesting. Anyway.
Yeah, when you write depressing stories, I wonder how much fun you are to be around.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Stephen King has been married for forever. I mean, like, how could you be married to that dude?
But I will say, and we do say this movie and story is very depressing, but it's written poetically. It's a weird. You want to keep reading because it's such beautiful language.
Sure.
But it's so hard to freaking read.
Right.
Which, the content at least is sparse. It's interesting.
Okay.
But I would recommend it. I really would. It's the book is still better than the movie. I'll just say that.
Well, that's usually the case, right? Andrew, we're going to let you do your intro in a minute, but
Yeah, sorry, Andrew.
No, I do kind of want to talk about that for a minute. And we've had this conversation before, like episode 9 when we did the movie Stardust, where we talk about, the book is always going to be better because you can get more detail and involved and in depth, and there's also a larger time commitment with a book, right? Like you get more invested with the characters because you literally spent weeks, if not months,
they're in your head.
Yeah, and you learn about them. And my last 3 or 4 books I've consumed have been audiobooks. It's still kind of the same. I mean, the time commitment, it's 9 hours or 8 hours as opposed to 4 or 5 weeks, but it's the same thing. There's still, you're with them, you get more in depth, and so that's always going to be the case. I think the exception is Stardust. I think the movie's way better than the book, but by a long shot, actually. I did not like that book much at all. But but that's always been, and as we always do, and I know, again, you're the only one that read the book, but we try to separate them. Now, I do want to say this, and only because I'm gonna pitch this to you guys. As always, as Netflix is, whenever they get a new movie, they're like, "Hey, Sean, you might like this." Well, they have the Fellowship of the Ring streaming now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just the Fellowship though, which is weird. So I wonder if they're going to get the other 2 at some point. I don't know. But I thought,
their servers can't handle all 3 at once.
They're probably too big.
The 9 hours of movies in those 3, they're just like, yeah, we can only handle one of these things.
So, would we want to do that for the show?
Fellowship? I haven't seen it in a while. I'd watch it again.
It's been years since I've seen them, and it'd be interesting to see if after 17 years, does the first one hold up?
Has it been 17 years?
Came out in 01, winter of 01.
Crap.
Right?
Wow.
And obviously it's got Vigo in it. And I don't know, it popped up today and I thought, that'd be an interesting one to do, that this critically acclaimed movie that kind of changed movies based on books, I think, because they were so good. Obviously the book is quote unquote better, but it's a damn good movie. All 3 are great, and each one gets better. And they had to change some things, and they had to do what Sam calls little space-time continuum fudging. Because in a book you can write. Well, it took them. You can write a sentence. It took them 3 days to get there. Where in the movie it's like, we have to have a sense of urgency. And I even in the theater, I remember watching the third movie, going, "Okay, Gandalf and Pippin got to Gondor really quickly,
really fast.
Like it should have taken them days, and they got there in like an afternoon." Anyway, it's fine. He has a magical horse. Yeah. So my point is that I think we should do that movie after we get past episode 200.
Woohoo!
And we've got a pretty good list for the next 5 or 6 weeks, and we've got a pretty good list of movies to pick from for 200. So I'm actually pretty excited. We've got about, I think, 8 or 9 movies right now that have been requested for the event. So if you have not done so, listening to this show right now, email the show, cheapseatreviews@gmail.com, or direct message me on the Facebook page or Twitter and give us your suggestions, your requests. Say, hey, we want you to do this movie for episode 200. We are going to randomly select them. I already kind of have an idea how I'm going to do that. We're going to randomly select the movie. Whoever gets their movie picked will win a $25 gift card. How cool is that? We're literally giving you money to help us celebrate episode 200. My only requirement is that you have to listen to that episode. That's just what I'm saying.
Man, you're asking a lot of our audience.
Well, I know. So like I said, we've already got 9 or 10 episodes, movies that have been requested for us, and let's get a few more. That'd be great. Have a nice big number to pull from, and if we don't do it for 200, we might just throw it on our list anyway, because most of you have picked movies that are streaming, either on Amazon or Netflix, which has been pretty cool. So,
and the funny thing is too, it seems like a lot of our viewer submissions, with a few exceptions during Halloween, have been pretty spot on.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of stuff that we would like.
Yeah. So anyway, now that we're
Andrew,
20 minutes into the show almost, Andrew, will you give us your kind of initial thoughts on this movie?
Well, I had never heard of it at all, and when I typed it in, it didn't come up, so I had to search for it. And I had no clue what I was getting into. And I thought, The Road, okay, what is this about? And as I started watching it, it was one of those movies that just grabs your attention pretty quickly. And because there's so many things that are, I don't know, kind of left out, you find yourself asking, okay, why is this happening? What's going to happen? What the
hell happened? Yeah.
Right. Because you never find out, spoiler, that why the world has ended or what's going on. It's just right. Am I wrong? Did I miss something?
No, you're exactly.
Okay.
In fact, I will say real quick, the movie does more to explain what's going on than the book ever does.
Oh, okay. And when from the very beginning, when it started with that, I thought, okay, they're going to tell us eventually what has caused this issue, and it never does. And I really appreciate that, actually, because they're leaving something up to the imagination of the viewer. And I appreciate movies that do that. There are so many movies out there that just treat the viewer as an idiot and just, treat us like dumb people and try to over-explain everything. And I appreciate the fact that they didn't do this. And again, it's probably from the book that they are trying to stay close to that. And so I don't know, maybe more books should be made into movies instead of writing stupid crap. So that way people can say, oh, the book was better than the movie. But anyway, so I thought that Viggo Mortensen and the kid did a great job both in the movie. I was freaked out by the people at the end of the movie.
Oh my God.
Like the kid was going off with these people that, he assumes are good guys, so to speak, quote, good guys, but
carriers of the light.
Who knows? They really didn't look all that kosher to me. Charlize Theron or Theron or whatever. I know that her character had to be the way that she was, but I didn't like her because I know people get to that point in their everyday lives, but especially when it's a world-ending, world-changing scenario like that, I don't know how I would act. So I can't say, I know how I would want myself to act, or I know what I expect myself to do, but
yeah, and it's easy for us to say, shame on her. She took the easy road.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, so.
Yeah. So I didn't like that, but I understand why it had to happen that way. And I always get her confused with Rebecca Romaine Stamos. For some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I don't see enough movies with her in it.
Doesn't she have a dark, curly brown hair?
Well, she's also blue. So.
Yeah, the times I've seen her, she's been blue. So I just get confused.
She played Mystique in the X-Men movies, by the way. Okay, sorry.
But overall, I liked the movie. In a sense, it left me in a dark emotional state for like a day and a half afterwards. And I think anybody with children really would be heavily affected by the movie. But I also appreciated that in this movie there was not a zombie in sight. We have a movie where people are worried about getting eaten, but it's finally not by zombies for once in 15 years.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay, cool. Sam?
Yeah, I knew what I was getting into because I read the book, but I read this book a long time ago before I ever had kids. So, I'd have to put a big disclaimer on this movie in terms of, especially if you've got kids. And I don't have a son, but I envision my girls being this little boy, and there are some disturbing ideas and scenes in this film that bug me. Every now and then I'll think of them and kind of shudder. The idea that this guy has 2 bullets left, and one of them was in a gun was pressed up against his son's head because it was better if his son was dead than anything that would happen to him afterwards. And that just to put a parent in that situation, to feel that much despair, I guess, is it's wild. There's a lot of movies I say that I enjoy, that I have fun with. I enjoyed this movie, but I didn't have fun at all. It was well made. It was well acted. And the story was interesting. Certainly you guys know I love my end of the world apocalyptic type of movies, but this was a totally different idea where everything is dead or dying. Apparently there's no such thing as animals anymore, or plants even. I don't think I ever saw a green thing. Were there anything green in this movie?
No, yeah, everything was dying.
No.
Yeah, everything
the only thing that I saw that was alive was a beetle.
Yeah,
that's right.
A few insects they found. They ate some crickets, things like that.
Yeah. But in terms of story, even though I knew what was going on, I was riveted. I thought Viggo Mortensen did very, very well. I wish the kid, and you guys, I've always complained about this, and you guys probably make fun of me, but I wish the kid was younger, because he is in the book. The kid in the book is still very innocent, and I don't know. I guess I could relate to that a little bit more since my girls are a little younger than the movie. But the protection, the father versus what the mother was doing and what the father would do, it just blew my mind. And as a parent, the thing that I still think about and kind of get shaken up. It's the idea that here this father is dying at the beach, leaving a son behind that he doesn't know how the son is going to survive.
Just hoping that what he's imparted on him was going to be good enough.
Yeah, and that just, it's so freaking sad. And it's so freaking scary as a parent. to think, what would happen if I would disappear, if I would die right now, and who, especially in that case when there's nobody else to lean on, what would my kid do to survive? And I agree with you, Andrew. The people at the end are creepy as hell. But like the father, we can only hope that they're good people. And in my mind, and the way I measure this out, is because the dog is still alive with them, and the kids are still there. I think they're good people. They just have bad dental hygiene.
Well, yeah, I think everyone at that point does.
So. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't a fun ride. Is that the right way to put it?
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So yeah. How about you, Sean?
So we had to push this movie back for various reasons. So I actually watched this movie today, as opposed to you guys that watched it 3 or 4 days ago. And so I watched it today in the comfort of my bedroom, literally under the blankets, freezing my ass off because this movie made me cold.
So it was pretty spot on what they were going through.
Yeah, exactly. It was going exactly the same thing. My dog over there snoring. I got a can of Sprite next to me, and yeah. Anyway, no, this. So I was thinking about this as I'm watching it halfway through. Again, you guys had kind of made reference in the group chat, like, "Oh my God, what are we watching? This thing is rough." And I'm like, all right, so I'm kind of mentally preparing for something like that. So like when Vigo dies, I'm not really all that shocked. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, it's also that movie trope where they start coughing, and you're like,
he's coughing, so he's doing it on screen. Yeah, I mean he's probably got consumption, typhoid, pneumonia. I love old timey names of things. I wish they can come back with that stuff. Like it sounds weird. Doesn't typhoid pneumonia sound way better than tuberculosis? Anyway. I want more of that in my life. Anyway, but I was also thinking that if you look at the movies that we do as a show, as a podcast, right, the majority of them are action-based, comedy-based, typically 90s, 2000 era, adventure films. Whether they be good or shit is irrelevant. If you just look back, we've done... 13 Hours, action, The Founder. Okay, not action. That was a very different kind of film, and a very good film. I'm going to skip over Halloween because that's just a different animal. But you got like American Ultra, Doctor Strange, Lost in Space, Kill Command, Seven Psychos, Sweeney Todd. All kind of these. Well, Sweeney Todd's a pretty kind of rough movie too. But my point is that I'm not saying that we should do more of these. I'm just saying it's good to do one every now and then, right?
Yeah, kind of, to break it up a little bit because... Maybe palate cleanser probably isn't the word I'd use, but something like that. We need something to kind of appreciate the bad boy twos of the world. Like this is the Brussels sprouts of the film industry, right? Like this makes you look inward, and kind of self-reflect. And I am a father of a son and a daughter, and this movie was hard on me, and it all, there's a moment where they're in the crazy people's house, right there. And what are the freaking odds of that, right? They're in the house. Holy
they're
crap.
in the house of the murderers, the band of brothers that go out and eat people and bring them back, and they've got like a cellar full of cattle basically in the basement waiting for whoever's going to get et next. And the Vigo's thinking, okay, this woman's going to come upstairs and find them in the bathroom, and she's going to yell, and he would rather shoot his son in the head and make it a quick death than to let the boy either A, witness his father get eaten, or B, he get eaten himself. And Vigo it's a piece of mercy that he's going to do that. And I don't know why, but my brain kicked over to Serenity, the movie Serenity, where it's the same moment in the movie, except that it's what you refer to as gallows humor. It's a little humorous, where one of the characters is literally about to get pulled into the enemy ship and going to get eaten, and he says, "I won't get et. You shoot me if they take me." And then Mal pulls out his gun and he says, "Well, don't shoot me first." And of course, he shoots the cable. Right? So it's the same moment, right? It's the same scene. They just add humor to it because it's an action humor movie, and that's the tone of the movie. Whereas this movie, he puts his gun to his son's head, and the son's just like,
okay.
Yeah, like he probably, his whole life has been kind of conditioned for this moment will probably happen in my life where Dad's going to have to kill me. And his dad showed him how to put the gun in his mouth and pull the trigger if it ever got to the point where something was going to happen, or if they were about to get overtaken by these, cannibal people. Like, this is the way to go. This is our best option. And that just sucks, and it's hard. Mm-hmm. To kind of look at that in that light. So yeah, this movie, I mean, it's not just depressing, it's kind of soul wrenching. Yeah. And halfway through the movie, I kind of had a moment where I knew there was not going to be a quote unquote happy ending, right? Like I knew we weren't going to get that. I figured the dad was going to die along the way. I figured the boy would live. Like, we have to have a little bit of hope in this movie. Mm-hmm. Because I think people would literally, like, throw their books in the fireplace if the boy got eaten, Now, we don't know what happens to the boy. We just, again, we're making assumptions, right? But, yeah,
right.
this...
Yeah.
And this Guy Pearce, and he's usually a bad guy in movies he's in, but he's been good guy too. And like you said, the fact that they had a dog, the fact that they had the two kids, and the fact that Guy Pearce never like demands to get the gun from the kid, like he's like, "I'm not allowed to give you the gun." He's like, "I don't want your gun, just don't aim it at me." Like, that seems very reasonable. And there was a moment about a third of the way through the movie where I realized that the boy was wearing the mom's knit hat.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's got to be rough for the dad to see the boy every day and see his mom's hat, the woman's hat. So anyway, this movie, I didn't take many notes, not to follow my formula that I loved it. Just there wasn't much to write about, honestly. I mean, 2/3 of this movie. Did you ever see Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1? The majority of that movie is them camping. That's what this is. It's just like a long camping trip with every 15 minutes.
With cannibals.
Yeah. There's just cannibals in the periphery that they stumble across a couple times.
Now, the one weird thing, and I thought about this when I was reading the book as well, was that escalated quickly in terms of cannibalism. But I guess that would happen. But it seemed like these roving squads of cannibals were everywhere.
Yeah.
You got the guys on the truck, and I view the guys on the truck different than the people who were in the house.
I think they're the same people,
right?
Because it was I remember the woman was there. I thought it was the same group.
Yeah, it was the same group.
Oh, was it the same group? See, I thought it was two different groups.
Well, it's the same actors. I don't know if we're supposed to believe it's the same group, but because they don't show up back in the truck. The truck doesn't come back home. So
see, if they had the truck, I might have to. Well, I don't want to watch it again. But I could. Okay, well then that makes sense. So maybe it's just one group of cannibals.
Well, there was two. There was really two groups of cannibals, right? You had that group, the roving group, plus with the house, and then the second group of when they saw that little cabin by the water. For some reason, it reminded me of Fargo with all the blood in the snow.
That's right. Yeah.
And they saw them chasing what looked like two children across the ice, and then Vigo was like, "We're going to get the heck out of here," and of course they did. And you hear the sound of what seems like a scream, and then a whack, and no more scream.
Yeah.
And
the pleasantries of this world that they showed us.
Well, I mean, there's so many shows and movies about what humans are willing to do to each other to survive. Because that's what we recall. That's what they refer to as the lizard brain. It's that when you strip down a lot of our higher functions,
Go straight to instinct.
Yeah, and we are born with very few instincts, but one of them is to survive, the fear of death. And, I'm sitting here with a belly full of Mexican food tonight, so it's easy for me to say I wouldn't do that. But, I mean, who knows what you would do to survive, especially for your kid. But, I mean, like Vigo said, we're the good guys. We don't eat people. Speaking of eating people, did you guys ever see the movie Into the Heart of the Sea?
Oh, The Heart of the Sea?
Is that what it is, The Heart of the Sea?
Yes.
The Moby Dick book movie?
I read that book, too.
Oh, so good.
The Moby Dick book.
It's the movie that's the events of the movie are based.
It's the story, story that
inspires Moby Dick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
a true life story, basically.
Yeah, it's a real thing that happened that inspired the book Moby Dick, and it's not like there's an insane captain out to go hunt a whale or anything like that. There's nothing like that, but it's because you have to have a protagonist in the book. In the story, it's just these whalers who are just needing to feed their family, and there's this gigantic whale that. Whatever. But in the book, there's a moment where these men are lost at sea, basically, and one of them dies, and they're getting ready to chuck him overboard, and the captain's like, "Hey, we can't waste this opportunity," and it wrecked the rest of these men because these were what you considered good, God-fearing Christian men, and it wrecked them emotionally, spiritually. They're all like, "We're going to hell, but at least we'll survive until we get there." And that's what they said in the movie. Like, we're all going to hell for what we did. So, anyway, it just kind of reminded me of that. And now that I've remembered that movie, that might make my top 3. Maybe not. I don't know.
I will not confirm nor deny that it's already there on mine.
Oh yeah. I totally forgot about that movie. Have you seen the movie? You just said you read the book. Had you seen the movie?
Yeah, I saw the movie too.
It's so good. I don't know. Let's see. It's a Ron Howard.
I have to say that's probably one of my favorite genres.
What?
Are these survival things?
Yeah.
And if there's a book that's about survival like that, I'm going to read it. So, yeah,
that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of good books about that, I'm sure. The two
Lord of the Flies. I just found Lord of the Flies in the book lot that I just got.
Ugh.
I'm like, keeping this one.
I read that book in 8th grade. You have to read it in 9th grade, whatever, 7th grade. But they made the movie years ago, and it was on HBO when I was a kid, and I watched it for some reason, not knowing what it was. And that movie gave me nightmares. Seriously. There's only 2 movies on this planet that have legit scared me. Like, legit scared me. Lord of the Flies, because I think I was like 7 or 8. And
it hit you the right
It hit me because that's what the age these kids are, and I identified with Piggy. Not that I was fat, but because I was kind of the social awkward kid. And then they killed him with a rock. Oh, kids killing kids is terrifying when you're a kid.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it terrified me. I had nightmares about my school, elementary school, being overtaken by the bullies of the school, and then I would get killed by a giant rock. Like, seriously had nightmares of that. The only other movie that scared me, legit scared me, was Jurassic Park.
Really?
And, well, again, that movie came out in, 93?
Yeah.
So I was 11.
Yeah.
11's pretty scary. A dinosaur can be pretty scary to an 11-year-old.
Yeah, that's an early, that's...
And it was the scene when the raptor jumps at the girl in the kitchen. I closed my eyes and didn't know how she got out of that situation because I didn't understand in my 11-year-old brain that it was reflection. I thought she was dead. And I opened my eyes and all of a sudden she's shutting the raptor in the freezer. And I'm like, what? I was confused. But and I saw that movie.
What you missed was some gymnastics moves.
Yeah, she kicked the raptor off the thing.
Triple sow-cow twirl into the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
Oh, that scene has haunted you, hasn't it?
Oh, that ruined that entire second movie for me.
Yeah.
Like, completely jumped the shark.
Yep.
You jumped the raptor, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you're right. That's kind of the moment in which the whole franchise just starts to go down until they rebooted with Jurassic World.
It's so stupid. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What child in their right mind would be brave enough even to try something like that?
Right. And that's the solution. I'm good at gymnastics.
Yeah.
I'll use it. And then Jeff Goldblum has to make some joke about it. Oh, you're not getting a good grade in gymnastics or something.
So pisses me off because both the Jurassic Park and Lost World book had so many good scenes to take from and to use, and they use some stupid new idea like that. It's
By the way, my Google Hangouts audio and video sync with you, Sam, is off by a full second, so it's like a Japanese movie right now. Like it's almost a full overdub. It's actually pretty funny. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how we got to Jurassic Park. Oh, the movies that scared me. I'm still not sure.
All roads lead to Jurassic Park.
All roads lead to Jurassic Park. Well, you're not wrong. Did you see the trailer for the new movie, Jurassic World ending, whatever? Jurassic World.
See, I worry about this one.
Jurassic
You
Harder.
think they're gonna screw it up like they did the other?
I think they're going to screw it up again. Yep.
Well, you like Jurassic World, right?
I liked Jurassic World, yes, but it just seems hokey to me. The new concept. Why the hell would you go
back
rescue dinosaurs on a? Yeah. There's no reason to. So
just let them die. Life will find a way.
Let them go.
After viewing the trailer, I thought, okay, the volcano erupts and all the dinosaurs are in the ocean. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It does. I don't know. I liked Jurassic World. I thought Chris Pratt was good in it. Yes, the whole movie kicks off on a real kind of dumb reason, right? They go into the paddock and then if they could have just, waited 5 minutes to find out where the transponder was, like fat guy wouldn't have died and Chris Pratt wouldn't have had to do all the stuff and the Kingpin would still be alive. Like all that stuff would not have happened. But anyway, it's still a good monster movie, and the ending still I still cheered when the giant alligator freaking eats the bad guy dinosaur, and then the raptor and the T-Rex kind of have like a we good? Yeah, all right, I'm going this way. Cool, see ya. So
What's up? See you later.
see ya.
I'll see you at brunch next Saturday.
And I still brunch. Yeah, I love brunch, and I also love that like. Sorry, it's a little How I Met Your Mother moment. And I also love that the T-Rex that's in that movie it's the T-Rex from the first Jurassic Park that they made a point to make sure that it had the battle scars and stuff. I thought that's pretty cool. Speaking of battle scars, The Road. Robert Duvall's character was interesting.
How is he not dead yet, though?
I didn't realize that it was Robert Duvall until he spoke.
Well, right,
Didn't look anything like him.
They did the makeup alone on his eyes was crazy.
Yeah.
In terms of giving him cataracts and good Lord, that was.
Did you ask how Robert Duvall isn't dead? Is that what you asked?
What's that?
Did you ask how Robert Duvall isn't dead?
No, no.
You just meant the old man character.
The old man character. How is he not dead yet?
I don't know. I mean, mostly blind. He didn't have any food. Just a dude walking with wooden shoes. Yeah. I mean, just an old dude. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. I mean, yeah, it's kind of surprising. Of course, he ate that can of peaches barely. But yeah, once he started talking, I was like, oh wow, it's Bob Duvall. Okay, what are you doing in this movie? Like it was surprising to see. I was like, Guy Pearce, what are you doing in this thing? And even
such tiny little cameos.
Yeah, and then the guy that he shot at the beginning of the movie in the face. He's been basically a bad guy in every TV show he's ever been in. As soon as I saw him on screen, I was like, oh, he's gonna do something bad.
Was that the father on Raising Hope?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's such a good show. I don't know why they canceled that.
I know. I can't get past him being the kind of clumsy dad on Raising Hope and seeing him in a film like this.
I'm trying to find his real name because, again, no one had named in this movie. It's just bearded man and well-fed woman and
Shot in the face, man.
Flare guy.
And then the flare guy's wife.
Militant, is that it? I probably would have a better time of searching for the other, Raising Hope dad. He was in the TV show Life. He was a bad guy in Life.
Okay.
Which was a really good show and lasted 2 seasons. It had the dude from Band of Brothers in it.
What, the Life movie?
Yeah, no, show, not the movie.
His name is Garrett Dillahunt.
No, seriously?
Yeah.
Him? Gang member? Oh, yeah, that's him, yeah. Yeah, he was in, known for 12 Years a Slave, Deadwood, No Country for Old Men, Raising Hope. He's doing a bunch of stuff. Fear the Walking Dead, he's in that.
Mm-hmm.
For an episode. So, he's usually a bad guy. So, I'm sure he was a racist bastard in 12 Years a Slave.
Oh, most were.
Yeah, most
Unless
were.
you were,
Either.
was it Matthew McConaughey? Was he the only good white guy?
Was he in that movie? I totally forgot.
I think so. He's whoever the guy is that finally told people up north where what's his name was.
I'm looking for white people in the cast. Let's see. There's a few. I don't recognize any of them though. I just don't recognize anything. Like Brian Batt, who are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
which movie are you in?
12 Years a Slave.
12 Years a Slave. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Anyway.
Yeah, I want to say it was Matthew McConaughey.
Steve McQueen directed this? Wow, he was driving
there and went, all right.
I don't see him in this movie. McConaughey. Benedict Cumberbatch was in it. Paul Giamatti.
No.
Michael Fassbender. That's your...
he was one of the owners, wasn't he? Wasn't he one of the crazy guys?
I've never seen it. Brad Pitt? Brad Pitt was in this?
Never seen it?
No, I never saw it.
Wait, I bet you it was Brad Pitt. That's the one I'm thinking of.
No, okay. So instead of saying, all right, he was just eating a can of fruit.
Yeah, he licking his fingers and
eating something. He's so weird. Speaking of Brad Pitt, I know we're way off the road, but speaking of Brad Pitt, did you guys see Fury? I think I've asked you that.
Did there?
Did you guys see Fury? The tank movie? It was good.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
With what's his name that pulled out his own tooth?
Yeah, friggin' Shia LaBeouf.
Did I see that? I think I did see that. Fury.
I don't know, but Shia LaBeouf is such a character actor that he did not shower or shave for the entire length of the production. And Brad Pitt actually kicked him out of the hotel that the cast was staying in because he stank.
And that was the beginning of the end for Shia
Actually,
LaBeouf.
this was the middle of the end for him, honestly.
Yeah.
He had already done his crazy bit and his come on, just do it bit and all that. He'd already gone crazy. And then they cast him in the movie, and he's frankly pretty good in the movie. He acts a little crazy. He's a little out there, but it fits. So, and I think that's the Punisher in that movie too, right? Is that the Punisher? I can't remember. I gotta find out.
I don't remember.
Like the new Punisher, Fury. Cause
yeah, that's him.
Yeah, is it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, John Bernthal. He's good. His name is Grady Coon-ass Travis. They all have nicknames. Shia LaBeouf, his Bible, Brad Pitt's War Daddy, Gordo, and Coon-ass. So crazy. Oh, my God.
What would your name be, Sean?
Probably Ginger or Pale Ass.
Pretty Lady.
Crybaby. Girly man. I don't know. I would not do well in war. I'll be honest with you. I would not do well. I would.
Heck, we play our Battlefield game, and I find myself a lot of times ducking and just staying there. I don't want to go out there.
It's dangerous, and it's not even real. The closest, and this is legit. So when I was in high school, I know we're way off the road, but
I see what you did there.
I didn't. I meant to do that time. In high school, the Marines came by the band like, hey, we need band members, and I had a conversation with my parents about me joining the Marine band, and Dad was like, I just want you to know that that's what he did Air Force band during Vietnam, and he was like, I spent 4 years of Vietnam in Phoenix, Arizona playing French horn. He said, but you just don't know what might happen. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't know. And I was like, are you going to be upset with me if I don't do the military because you and your dad both did it? He's like, no, I'm not. Go to college, do your thing. So I did. And then sophomore year, 9/11 happened. So I might have been switched to active. I mean, who knows? So,
wow.
Yeah, again, it's just, I don't I don't even like hitting animals when I'm driving. I don't think I could shoot another person. So, anyway. Life or death situations, again, who knows what you'll do, right? Anyway, point is The Road was a good movie. It was a well-made movie.
So did you take a lot of notes?
No, I didn't. I think I told you that. I took other than, so I didn't do clips because one, my normal setup is gone. My desktop is in 4 pieces downstairs. And I'm taking my hard drive to a specialist in Charlotte to see if I can get the memory, all the stuff on it recovered. Because a lot of clips and stuff from the show are on that machine. So that's sad. So I didn't do any clips because it's just hard to do clips when I'm having to constantly transfer to my phone. But I didn't take very many notes. I mean, my notes, Vigo on his horses, nuclear holocaust movie, quote, nuclear holocaust movie. Even in post-apocalyptic world, there's still Coke. I wrote, what are the odds of them stumbling onto the Reavers' home? I just called them Reavers because I didn't have another name for them.
Nice.
I guess the owners of the underground food cache died before needing it.
Or they died being out and about or something.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah, maybe. It didn't look like it had been used in a long time. So, yeah, maybe they went out to get something and they were killed and then, the door was closed. And
did anybody else think, why the hell did they leave?
Well, they heard the door, they heard the people upstairs, and they heard the dog. So, obviously, he heard Guy Pearce's family walking by. And Vigo got freaked out. He was afraid that someone might, in the middle of the night, open up that hatch and jump down and kill them and whatever.
Yeah.
But then you kind of think, the boy's like, okay, I'm part of the family, so I'm going to do you a solid. I'm going to tell you where there's a whole bunch of food, but you got to be nice to me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
leverage.
5 or 6 days walk from here, there's a whole bunch of food for all of us that'll last us for a couple months. Like, but don't eat me, I'm going to keep my gun, and we're going to walk. All right. I mean, maybe he's a 12-year-old kid doesn't think like that, but that entered my mind. What did I else write? I write, of course, they find a murder camp. Then I did write, I shot a guy with a flare gun. Cool. And then I wrote at the end, we hope that they're a good family. And that's all I wrote. So. Yep. Anything else? I was going to do trivia since I don't have clips. Anything else you want to mention?
I thought the only thing I can say is that the cinematography was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was well done.
Being so dang dreary.
Yeah,
it was still gorgeous to look at.
For it literally being 50 Shades of Grey, it was a good movie. That
might be a good episode title, by the way.
Yeah, actually, that would be a good episode title. Which that movie was also nominated for a Razzie. The new one was nominated for a
well
Razzie.
Deserved.
Yeah. Trivia. I have a clip for that.
Trivia.
Wait, no, I don't. Damn it. Where is it? Shoot. I thought I had it right here. But I guess I don't. Here it is.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
Okay. To live the role, Viggo Mortensen would sleep in his clothes and deliberately starve himself. At one point, he was thrown out of a shop in Pittsburgh because they thought he was a homeless man.
Oh my gosh, I could see that the way he looked.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Director John Hillcoat filmed the soft drink vending machine scene with man and boy several times, each with a different brand beverage, out of concern that Coke executives would not want their product to appear in the movie. A telephone call from Vigo to the president of Coke secured permission for a can of Coke to appear consistent with the source novel. I love it. Hey, Coke man. Hey, this is Vigo. Yeah, Aragorn. Yeah, I need your help. We need. You're good? Cool. All right. I'll get you a copy of The Ring. All right, cool. All right, here we go.
We have to notify Gondor. Raise the fires.
That's right. I need you to climb up there, be all sneaky, and raise the fires. The scene where man washes boy's hair in the stream was shot 3 times. During that scene, the weather was very cold. So the director promised Cody, the boy, that it would only be done in 2 takes. However, during the second take, the sun came out and ruined the shot, requiring a 3rd take. The boy's crying afterwards was him actually crying and not acting.
Oh,
I know, right? So here's an interesting piece of trivia, and I don't know if it's mentioned in the book, Sam, and I don't know if it's meant as trivia as to just... So in the book, do you ever find out that the quote-unquote beach that they get to is the ocean? Do you ever learn that?
That I remember, no.
Okay. The trivia says
I just know there was a like a shipping boat out there that he swam to in the movie, of course.
Right. Naked,
But
which meant that he was on that boat naked.
Naked.
I mean, like walking on steel with your bare feet naked. Anyway.
Cold.
Yeah. So anyway, in the trivia says the ocean scene was Lake Erie. So
interesting.
Am I to think that that's just where they filmed it, or that's where they went? Like his map was not.
I always got the impression while reading that they were going to the East Coast.
Like they actually made it to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So we're to understand that just meant that it was a filming location of Lake Erie.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good with that. That would explain the color of the water. They probably didn't have to color correct that. And Vigo claimed he never kept track of how much weight he lost for the role, as it was a gradual weight loss as a result of less eating. He estimates it was about 30 pounds. Yeah. So, soundtrack grade, I thought it was fine. I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I know it was kind of a riff off the little piano thing that Charlize Theron was doing earlier in the movie, but I thought it was fine. So, okay.
Yeah.
Time for time for
this.
No, not that. That was Andrew, by the way, burping. Nice. There you go. Okay. Just one more time. Here we go.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All right. Top 3
There we go.
movies with cannibals. Because why not? Andrew.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to have a honorable mention of The Hills Have Eyes.
Never seen it.
Never seen it.
But
I guess they have eyes in that movie.
Yeah, it reminds me of home.
Stop it. I've been to Marion. It's not
North
that
Carolina.
Nice.
Up in the sticks. That's close to Tennessee. Anyway, West Virginia.
It's for lovers.
Yeah. And
Wait,
cannibals.
no. Why open and free, isn't it?
No, yeah. Virginia is for lovers. I don't know what
Virginia is for lovers. That's
West
right.
Virginia is for coal and the mountaineers.
Yeah, so number 3, Sweeney Todd, which, love it or hate it, I think it's a fun musical.
Sure.
And we get some meat pies there. And then number 2, Hannibal.
Okay. Yeah.
The
Okay.
Silence of the Lambs prequel. And then
sequel.
Sequel.
Sequel. It's the
Sequel.
direct.
Sequel.
It's the direct
Yeah.
sequel.
No, that is a sequel. The Red Dragon.
Red
is a prequel.
Dragon.
Yeah. Sorry. And then number one, my favorite of all time of cannibal movies, Bone Tomahawk.
Oh crap!
That's what I said.
I totally forgot about Bone Tomahawk.
When I said earlier pre-show, I said, "Oh, there's that movie. I got to put it on the list." And Andrew said, "Yep, it's already there." And I said, "Yeah, I got you. That's what we were talking about."
I was going to throw in another honorable mention, and I didn't. There's this movie called Teeth, and I don't know if you guys have heard of it or seen it.
Yeah, it's where the woman's got like teeth in her vagina or something, right?
Yeah. Sean Blankenship introduced me to that movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Many, many years ago, and I
have never forgiven him
by the idea. And probably a year or two ago, I saw it on Netflix, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to watch this." Finally, after 10 years of waiting, and wasn't impressed.
We're not doing that for the show.
No.
Sam.
But I don't guess it's really cannibalism because the vagina really just bit the penis. I don't think it actually ate it.
I don't think you can digest whatever it ate.
I don't think you can digest anything in a vagina.
Yeah.
Again, they're not supposed to have teeth either. So, I mean, Sam.
Well, I'd put Bone Tomahawk as my honorable mention now that I remember it. Thank you, Andrew. My number 3 is In the Heart of the Sea.
Sure.
My number 2 is 13th Warrior.
Oh, right. Wait, do they eat people in that?
The bad people do. Yeah,
do
they sure do.
I don't remember that.
What's that?
I don't remember that part.
Yeah. Yep. And my number 1 is, of course, one of my favorite movies of all time, Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. I've seen 13 Warrior probably eight or 9 times and have read the book. I don't remember them eating people. They took people. I guess they ate them. I just don't remember them. I don't remember them saying it in the book, but maybe they do.
I think it's alluded to.
Yeah, maybe it is.
I think there's bones or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think like when they go find the witch, there's a lot of dead bones and bodies and sitting there.
I mean, the original book title is Eaters of the Dead.
Right. Really? Is that how Michael Crichton originally did it?
Yes.
Interesting. I read the book when it was just as the 13th Warrior with Antonio Banderas on the cover. And it was the strangest read I've ever done because it reads...
Isn't it done in like a diary form or something?
Yeah, basically, the way I always explain it to people, it's an after-action report, like a military report. He's writing to his people back in Arab country, wherever he's from. And...
Spain.
Yeah. Wait, no. And... and so it's just a report of things, right? This thing happened, and then this thing happened. So there's very little emotion in what's going on. I still think it's a good movie, and it's our guy that did Die Hard and directed that movie.
McTiernan. Yeah.
McTiernan, and we did that for the podcast, didn't we? I think we did. Pretty sure
I believe so.
We've done a lot of his movies actually.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did, like early on,
Warrior?
like top, like first 10 or 15
I don't
movies.
know if we did.
13th Warrior? Yeah.
I could have swore we've done 13th Warrior. I know when you get to almost 200.
It's been so long.
You start to
Taking so
forget.
long. I've got to update the website.
Yeah, you do. No, that's all right. You'll get there when you get time. I mean, I would bet not a lot of money, but I would bet some money that we did it. If we haven't done it, then we should do it like tomorrow. Freaking love that movie.
I do.
So my turn, right?
Yep.
My number 3 was what? Honorable mention of the Heart.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Heart of the Sea was my honorable mention. Number 3 was Bone Tomahawk because I felt slightly obligated to Andrew to say it.
Ooh, I've got another honorable mention.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Because I'm looking for.
In fact, it might have kicked Heart of the Sea down one.
Okay.
Snowpiercer.
The meat popsicles.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a shoe. It does not go on your head. Oh, do I have any Snowpiercer quote on my phone? I think I do, don't I? Don't I have We All Freeze and Die? Don't I have that on here? Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of 13 Assassins.
Yeah,
That's what I think it was. That was our 4th movie overall. I'm just looking here too.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right, Andrew. I don't think we have done the 13th Warrior. How this crime must go resolved.
Yeah, we must resolve this crime.
Like,
I wonder if it's available anywhere.
I'll find out real quick. So my number 2 is Silence of the Lambs, and my number 1 is Book of Eli.
Oh, I love Book of Eli.
Yeah, the crazy people with the shakes.
Yeah, freaking
That's right.
That would
Dumbledore.
probably change my list, actually. That's a great movie.
Oh yeah, I do like that movie.
That would bump Snowpiercer down on mine. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, good. I'm glad I could help. 13th Warrior. You're doing the search right now. It's on Hulu.
Not on Amazon.
Yeah, it's only on Hulu right now. So
Ew.
I don't think any of us have one of those. So
No.
it's all right. We'll just we'll put it on the list on the side there for things to do in the future. In the future, I still can't believe we've not done that movie. 13 hours, 13 assassins.
You mean it's not in our 13
13 category
compendium?
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Let's see what other numbers we got. Blade 2, Mission Impossible 3, U571, Lethal Weapon 4, Fantastic 4, Captain America 3, Ridiculous 6. I'm just looking at movies with numbers. It's actually surprising that we have this many. Man, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to doing that in the future whenever it gets back over to the
Where we
streaming
can get
thing,
it.
The Fifth Element.
Because we're cheap.
Well, I mean, yeah, and plus it allows other people to watch it too. You know, like we like people to be able to. I know. I don't have any delusion that everyone watches every movie that we do, but it would be sometimes, and I do get this, like, hey, you know, I listened to your review of such and such, and then I went and watched it because of your review. Like I've heard that.
Oh,
so
interesting.
That's actually kind of cool. So that happens every now and then. So. Should I? So I guess what I'm saying is, do I recommend that you watch The Road? Yeah. I recommend you watch it while you got a nice hot cup of coffee or hot chocolate, and under a warm blanket, and
some tissues maybe,
and hug your children
for
afterwards.
Emotional support.
Yeah, I mean it was all of those things are correct. So I guess at this point we're gonna do our out of 10. Andrew.
Okay. Well, I would put this, I don't know, somewhere around, I mean, it's not something that I want to watch every day.
Mm-hmm.
Or ever
maybe
again.
never again, to be honest. But it doesn't mean I don't like it. It just messed with me.
And it doesn't mean that it's not a good movie.
No.
I mean, we've done that, right? We've had movies where we're like, man, Snowpiercer was good, but I never want to watch it again. I mean, seriously, but it was a well-made film, but I could never watch that again. Not unless some group of people are like, we want to watch it. We've never seen it, Sean. We want you to participate because we know you've seen it and how effed up it messed you, or how much it messed you up. So come watch it again. No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So anyway,
I don't know. I would.
By the way, they're making a Snowpiercer TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I heard that.
Saw that.
I'm gonna have to go like straight up 6, just right on the nose.
I gotta say, I have to respond to that Snowpiercer show. Am I gonna watch it? I don't know. Maybe. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel obligated to for some reason. I don't know.
To me, it depends on where it lands.
Well, it's also
going to be like a TBS or
no. I don't think it's going to
CW or something. No, thank you. Heck, if it's even on a major network, no, thank you. But if it's on HBO, Stars, something like that, yeah,
or Netflix.
It can't
or
be
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking right now to see who's producing it. I don't see. Tomorrow Studios is producing it. I don't know what that means. I mean,
yesterday?
It's on TNT. It's going to be on TNT.
Yep,
so it's going to be super lame. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, it's not going to be hard R. There's not going to be violence. There's not going to be people eating people, obviously, on screen.
And by God, that's what I look for in a movie or a TV show.
But I mean, it could still. I mean, TNT's actually done some pretty good dramas.
Like
Leverage. It's a comedy drama. It's mostly comedy. They've had some other stuff, right? Isn't that isn't that new show? What's it called? The Alienist. Isn't that on TNT?
I haven't seen that yet.
The
I want to
Alienist.
see it. I've seen the preview.
I've seen previews for it like crazy. And I think that was also a TNT thingy. Yeah, it's on TNT. Yeah. So and that's kind of a hard that's kind of a hard show. So TNT's delving into the FX world when it comes to their evening late night programming. So maybe there's hope for Snowpiercer. They've only got one episode to pilot.
Yeah.
But
that's the guy up front, right?
yeah, yes, that's the pilot is the guy up front. The only actor I recognize so far is Jennifer Connelly.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, and she has a name, Melanie Cavill, so I don't know if that means I don't know what that means. I don't know if she's like crazy lady, shoe on the head lady, Tilda Swinton lady, or if she's just a whatever.
That's
lady.
weird. I thought she retired, Jennifer Connelly.
Oh, I love me some Jennifer Connelly.
Me too.
I don't think she retired. She was in something recent. I'm trying to think of what it was now. Anyway.
She looks a lot like her father, though.
Who's her father? Sean Connolly? Okay. I see what you did there. I'll okay, fine. That's as good a joke as we're going to get out of this. I guess without Corny here to make the
without Corny here, we are we're struggling.
That's all right. Sam, you haven't given your number yet.
Oh no, let me give it. I give it a good solid 6.8. It's a well-made film.
Okay.
Very few flaws in terms of taking you out of the story.
All right, let's see, 6.8.
But it's hard. I can't rewatch this thing.
Oh yeah, no way.
It's gonna be a while.
I'm gonna split the difference and just give it a 6.4. That'll actually I'm gonna give it a 6.45 so that we don't have a whole number.
And this is one of those weird times where I feel like I'm undergrading it.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie, but just the rewatchability has to factor in.
Yeah, it's partly that for me too, rewatchability. It's partly the dark, bleak movies I don't do real well with. This movie reminded me, not because it also has the word "the road" in it, and not because it ends by a lake, but the movie Road to Perdition. Is kind of similar in that it's a father-son. They're kind of trying to do some, survival kind of a thing. They're kind of being chased.
Who was the assassin in that one that kept coming after him?
Jude Law.
Jude Law, thank you.
And that's how the movie ends. Spoiler, the movie's 12 years old. Go watch it. But the movie ends where they get there to where they're trying to get to, and then Jude Law catches up with them and kills Tom Hanks. And the son has to watch his dad die. And then right when Jude Law is about to do his weird, creepy fetish of taking a photo of dead people, the son kills Jude Law. And then the movie kind of ends in a weird kind of a happy place. But it's a good movie with one of the last movies that, what's his name did? Paul Newman.
The guy on the
Brain Stressing, yeah, Paul Newman.
Brain Stressing, Paul Newman. Thank you.
Yeah, it was one of the last movies he did. It actually has a young Daniel Craig in it too.
I'm sorry, I thought you said the guy on Fran Drescher. I was like, what?
Hey, Fran Drescher was pretty hot back in her day.
God, no, you can't get past the voice.
That's not her normal voice.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because they had. There's an episode where they go to a Japanese restaurant and she eats wasabi. And she's like, "Oh, my sinuses have cleared," and it's her normal talking voice. And like everyone, like the audience is freaking out because she's getting to use her normal voice, and then it comes back, and she's like, "Oh, there it goes again, it's back," So it's like the what was her name, Janice from Friends. Like that's not her real voice, or Karen Walker from not How I Met Your Mother, from Will and Grace. That's not her real voice. It's a character.
Okay.
So again, when I used to watch The Nanny because I thought she was kind of hot. So
with the big hair and everything.
I was the 90s. You know, that's how they were back then. You had big hair back then.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, stop it. It wasn't all that bad, too. Anyway, she actually looks pretty good now for her age. I mean, because she's not had like work done. Like she's just aging very gracefully. She is a beautiful woman. Well, okay, she's had some work done. I lied. I'm looking at a recent photo. Okay, she's had some work done, but that's fine. And she's still working, so good for her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, apparently we can watch all eight Harry Potter movies on Amazon. Interesting. But that's not what we're going to do next week. What are we doing next week? Well, I will tell you what we're doing next week. We are doing, find it. We are doing the Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales. This is your Johnny Depp and your pirates and your Javier Bardem and some other people, Barbosa, Jeffrey Rush. Not seen it. I thought the fourth movie was kind of bad.
Yeah.
And so when this movie was released, for the first trailer for it, I kind of got excited for it. So we'll see if my expectations are met. Then they are pretty low for this movie. So
after the fourth one, I don't blame you.
Yeah, the fourth one was kind of poo. And I know people hated the third one. I kind of liked the third one.
I liked the trilogy of them. I enjoyed the story and the expanded universe.
Yeah, I had no problem with the weird purgatory scene, and I don't know. I liked the third one a lot. I mean, probably not as good as one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought like one was the best, and then two, then three, and then four is at the bottom. Four is like Phantom.
I think they really should have stopped after the first one, to be honest.
Yeah, they hit, but I mean it was so successful and kind of out of nowhere. I mean, it cost, and I say only, it cost like $100 million, and it made like $600 million.
Yeah,
and Disney was like,
I mean, it definitely made money.
Oh yeah,
but the rest of the movies after it, I feel like were just a money grab.
Well, but even the third movie, which was a $300 million project, still made almost $1 billion. The franchise has made over $1 billion.
Oh sure, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like the Transformers. I mean, those movies made money somehow.
Yeah, and they're trash.
And they're trash.
Interesting thing, real quick, before we move on to wrap up the show. And those listening at home, I really want to know kind of what you're talking about or what you're thinking about with this. Is I was listening to another podcast and they were talking about kind of how how The Last Jedi came out of the gates just like gangbusters and then just gone down like crazy. And I don't really think it's because some people hate it and some people whatever. I think we are no longer, I think honestly, apart from the random, big maybe Pixar movie, like Incredibles 2, I think we're kind of out of the age of $1 billion movies. Don't you think? Like, I mean, I think
yes and no, only because there will be some new idea that comes out that is going to knock our socks off.
Like, I don't even think Avatar 2 is going to get $1 billion. And I know the first one did.
No.
But I don't think the second one
I'm surprised. Why the heck would they? Yeah.
What, make another one? He's making a trilogy.
I know they made a ton of money on the first one, but I just don't see it as a franchise. I don't know. Anyway, wasn't all that impressed with it.
I mean, I thought it was fine. I liked it better when it was when it was Dances with Wolves. But I mean, it was a beautiful film. But I'm looking here at like our last $1 billion movies. I'm trying to find them in order. I mean, Jurassic Park was $1 billion, but that was been a while. I mean, here's a better list. 2009 Avatar. I really thought, okay, I know that The Force Awakens hit $1 billion, but maybe it didn't hit top 10 billion. So anyway, I'm just curious to see if you guys think we're gonna. I mean, I honestly, if Incredibles 2 is as good as Incredibles 1, it can hit $1 billion. I honestly think that.
It could, yeah.
And because your audience is so much broader, right? Like, I'll take Declan to see that. Because he likes the first one. So, when you account for inflation, BT Dub, Gone with the Wind is number 1 at $3.3 billion. Avatar, and then Star Wars, Titanic, Sound of Music, E.T., The Ten Commandments, Dr. Zhivago, Jaws, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, 1937. So
people went crazy for Gone with the Wind.
Oh yeah,
Insane.
I can't watch it. It's just too awful, boring. Anyway, I mean, like, because Frozen made $1 billion.27. You know, Dark Knight Rises, which is depressing that did. I mean, Transformers Dark of the Moon made $1.12 billion. Like, that's just wrong. Toy Story 3, Jurassic Park, Stranger Tides, Jurassic Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, that fourth terrible movie made $1 billion.
Well, I don't know. I don't. After hearing the ones that you're reading off, I don't know that we're quite out of that $1 billion market then. Because if some of those movies can make billions of dollars, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Don't forget, population is also continuously growing, as well as global business or the global ticket sales.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, you're right. And as I'm looking at this, a more expanded list. This was updated. Well, this is 2016. But I mean, yeah, Fast and the Furious, the newest one made $1 billion. Jurassic World, Avengers 2. Oh. So, anyway,
yep,
it's just interesting. So, I was just wondering. All right, that's the show. Thank you for listening again. Help us out with our 200th episode, which is rapidly approaching. Holy shite! We have Pirates of the Caribbean, and then the movie after that is the Netflix original Bright, and then we're doing the 200. I mean, unless something happens between now and then that would force us to have to skip a week, 3 weeks away, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
No, that's not right. This is episode 196. Right?
4 weeks away.
So, we're 4 weeks away.
We do math.
My spreadsheet's off. Why is my spreadsheet off? How did this get off?
If you came to this podcast expecting math, you came to the wrong place.
Yeah, no kidding. Or any level of competency. Anyway, so then we're gonna Bright, and then after Bright is the Magnificent Seven, and then we have our show, the 200, which is exciting. So like I said, I'll stay tuned for how we're gonna do the giveaway. I'll talk to you guys later how we're gonna do that. In the meantime, go to our website, cheapseatreviews.com. You can get old episodes. Is that our outro? No. Yeah, there's our outro. You can get old episodes. Check out, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Cheapseat Reviews. Twitter is, what is our Twitter? At CheapseatCast. Sorry, I need my script. You think I've done this before. Leave us a review.
Stick to the script. Yeah,
leave us a review, iTunes, Google Play, wherever. Just leave us reviews, please. Help us out. Any review would be great. Well, okay, leave us a good review. But reviews will be fine. I have neglected our Anchor app completely, and I apologize. So I will try to get on that tomorrow. I'm going to do a review on a book, which is weird. But yep, I'm going to do a review on a book. Which is being turned into a
stupid book,
but it's going to be turned into a movie. So that's how I'll.
Well, okay.
Yeah, Ready Player One. The book was great. Thank you, Sam. I owe you for that one. And then you will owe me for Armada. So.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I can't wait till that gets here. Although right now I'm reading Fire and Fury, and getting angry.
What's that?
So, that's that Trump book.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, Fire and Fury, right. Yeah, well, good luck with that. That's our show. Thank you so much for listening, and we're really excited to share our 200th episode with you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll try to maybe do something live on Facebook or something. I don't know how it's going to work, but Anyway, so on behalf of Andrew, Sam, and Corny, this is Sean saying thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.